I'm CK. Today we've got another kit from Djupviks. This is their Svalbard, which I'm sure has a historical connotation, probably World War II, as his wont on his build page. His build guide has what looks to be either hot air balloon or hydrogen-filled balloon, I don't know what. And it's a 18 HP 3-channel broken delay and no input mixer with filters for all three, and it looks like a lot of interesting routing ability. And as I said, I've done kits from them before and they've turned out very well. So we'll put this one together. Looks like it's mostly surface mount already installed, and see how it sounds. And I hope you enjoy the video. So let's see what's in the packages. Got this from thonk.co.uk. We've got the parts, and we've got the PCB and panel, and we'll take a look at the PCB and panel first, if I can get it open without being an animal. No, I can. Good. Okay, here's the circuit board, and yeah, lots of surface mount stuff already installed, including all the electrolytics, which some folks don't mount because they can get knocked off in shipping pretty easily. But these all look like they look like they may be installed correctly. Even I'm looking at this one leg on that cap. Yeah, that looks okay. You want to go ahead and double check just cause. So on the other side we've got power header, which will go on the back, of course. Mix out, jack, RV4, RV3, RV2, RV6, an unmarked RV1. We're going to call that RV5 then. RV8, RV9, RV7, RV12, that's channel 3 out, RV11, channel 2 out, RV1 out, and I think I was one high on those. And a whole bunch of mix-ins, I think. And then these, oh, I'm sorry, these are not jacks. What am I talking about? Pot, and now we've got channel 3 out, channel 2 out, channel 1 out, and then inputs here for CV and other things, and a mix out. Let's see what's in on the panel itself. And the only complaint I ever have is this silver on red is a little hard to read. So there's mix, wet, CV, input, input, input. Looks like some pots to go with that. And yeah, there's a balloon here with something in the gondola. Filter, 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 output, output, output. So it looks like we've got a lot of good routing and playing with. Let's look at the parts. Oops. We've got all our jacks, which still have the panel nuts on, so I'll take those off camera, unless you really want me to see me take panel nuts off. I don't think you do. Power connector. In here we've got a switch. In here we've got something. I can't identify that. Oh, that's just some hardware, the panel nuts for the potentiometers. Are they all 100K? Looks like they are all 100K. So that's good, so we won't make a mistake. And some little knobs to go on something. Oh, I guess it goes on these, even though they look too small to go on there, they'll go on there. Not real securely. You got to push them all the way on for them to secure. So you probably pull them off if you're jamming really hard. So that's it. Looks like a pretty straightforward assembly process. So I'll get the soldering iron heated up and we'll put this thing together. So again, this very simple kit, so the build guide is minimal. I glanced through it just to make sure that there wasn't anything too unusual or a note or caution about something, and no, it's just installing all these front panel parts and this power connector, which we're putting on right now. Come on, there we go. Make sure it's level and flat, and it is. Next, just taking all the panel nuts off the jacks because I didn't actually do it off camera because I forgot. So, cameras jump. While I do that, panel nuts are all off. So now we'll put all the potentiometers on board, and I always do the potentiometers before the jacks simply because, as you can see, as it goes past the little support legs, it can jostle the board a little bit, and if you've got the jacks on and the board jostles, the jacks will fall off. So all those guys, and I'm going to set these switches on. Let me take a look at this. I'm going to put this bag in a different bin just to... Oh, there is no switches there. There's only switch here. And let's see how tightly it fits into its hole. Yeah, not so tight. But now we'll put the jacks on. So that's all the components mounted. Now we'll drop the front panel on, get them all lined up and in place, and make sure the switch goes in because it's the tallest. And that went together very smoothly, which is always good. Grab my little clamp and make sure I don't put it on something important. No rattles, which is good. I mean, the switch rattles a little bit, but that's okay. Because I'm going to do the switch first. I'm going to put a little piece of foam under it, the switch handle, to make sure that it stays as tightly against the circuit board as it can. And now we'll do all these other components. Okay, you may have seen me, if I didn't cut it out, I had to take the panel back off and put it back on because one of the ground pins for one of the jacks hadn't gone through the hole. But, two things to note: be very careful because there are surface mount components very near where you're going to be soldering some pins. So just be careful. Hold your soldering iron vertical or whatever makes it so you are not going to touch one of those pre-installed components. Now I'm going to go through and look at all my solder connections to make sure, number one, I did them all, and number two, that they're good connections and they're not bleeding across to other connections. And I say that because I did them all is about once every 5 kits I do this, and oops, I forgot some socket pins, I forgot a capacitor pin or something like that. So always double check no matter how many times you've done this. And that looks like everything is soldered well. Now I'll put all the panel nuts on, and just like before, I'll do this in fast motion. Now we'll put the knobs on. Make sure all the pots are counterclockwise so I can make some semblance of attempting to align the index marks. Actually, I'm going to set these all on just kind of loosely because they don't go very tight until you press them all the way down, as I mentioned earlier. And that may give me more of a chance of getting them aligned. Now check, make sure they all rotate. They do. Put the power cord on. Red stripe to red stripe mark on the circuit board. And that's it. Oops, I didn't put it on hard enough. I didn't put it on hard enough because I'm actually not going to use this power cord. I'm going to use the one already in my test rack. I just do that for the videos. Here's the front. It's the side. Back. Other side. Top. And the bottom. Lots of knobs, lots of jacks, one switch, no LEDs, no blinking lights. Oh well. I will put it in the rack and see how it sounds. Oh, one thing I do want to mention is, you keep seeing me put it down. One thing, if you do that, be very careful. I mean, I am being careful because I know they're there. But you could knock one of these electrolytics off if you're too rough with it when you're facing it down like that. So just be careful of that. Now we'll get this put in the rack and see how she sounds. Okay, let's turn it on. See if we get any magic smoke. I got magic smoke yesterday from a kit. Not a eurorack kit, a different one. Okay, she's up. And let's see what we've got going on. She's drawing 22 milliamps on the negative 12 rail, nothing on the 5, and 82 on the plus 12 volt. That's pretty high. I'm surprised. So I've got a sequencer going and going into my even VCO and my frequency central, more VCAs, and then into this. So let's see what it sounds like. The switch is down. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. Let's try changing some things. Give it a little more time. I'm going to go directly to the number 1 output, and that doesn't make a difference. I didn't think it would. I'm going to put another signal into the CV input. You can hear that a little bit, I think. do something else here. I'm going to go up. See, this is all in parallel, by the way. So if I've got one input going used, it'll be echoed across all three of these. So you can have it coming out. Oh, that's not doing anything. Let me see if that's busted. It shouldn't be busted. Huh. Appears to be busted. Go to mix. Huh, this number, oh, I'm going in CV. I'm not going in input because I'm silly. I'm still not getting anything there. Interesting. I don't know why that one's not working. Go back to input 1. Hold on, I gotta get in the front of the camera, see if I got something plugged in over here. I just plugged that into my mixer, so I'm going to go over to, no, never mind. I'm going to stop for a second and check and set up my mixer. Okay, so I set up my mixer, and I also pulled this out of the rack for a minute to see if I could find anything at issue with the number 3 line, and I don't. So I don't know what's going on there. So again, we're back. That's just with 1. I've got the number 2 output turned all the way down, but now I'll turn that up. So as you can see, we can have multiple effects on the same signal and control it any way we want. We've still got that CV input there. I'll put the CV back over here. Turn that way up. I'm going to turn the number 2 down, or up. You can turn the number 1 down. Turn number 1 up. I'm going to put another LFO into the lower so we can get a lot of things happening here. Let me speed up the sequencer. I'm actually going to come out of the VCA and just do it as a drone. I'm not sure what the wet switch does, because it doesn't give me a dry signal. But I'm going to go over here to mix. I'm going to switch back to going through the VCA. So that's what it does. It sounds pretty interesting. A lot of tweaking to do. Again, I'm not sure why this bottom set is not working. And I really don't know what this wet and dry does, but that's okay. It's an interesting unit, would make a nice accompaniment to a drone background kind of thing. And as you saw, a very quick and easy build. And I hope you enjoyed the video.